away from, of course, July 1st, which happens to be Canada's birthday. And I just want to thank all the Canadians for their, support. And also as well, I want to have the best Canada Day possible. Today is, of course, June 30th, 2026. And today I want to talk about marriage. That's right. Now, that's something that I have been involved in for many decades and have a lovely wife. And in fact, right now, we are enjoying the company of our 9-year-old granddaughter, whose name is Sarah. She is staying with us for a few days before she heads off to camp and has a wonderful time down there. Now, I want to tell you that marriage is proven on how gently when someone treats us when no one else is watching. Many people actually put marriage on display and say, hey, I'm a great husband or I'm a great wife by how they treat people in public. But you see, marriage is not about how you treat someone in public, it's about treating someone when you are, of course, alone. And that's really what it's all about. What goes on behind closed doors is, of course, what's really important. For example, many people who are abusers have a tendency to treat their spouse in a, loving manner in, of course, public. But once they get behind closed doors, it's a different situation. It's what we do behind closed doors. And when no one is watching, that's really proves what kind of person you are. When you're tired, when you're emotional, when you're not easy to love, when life is not convenient. And I want to tell you something. There are times that that happen. They actually did a survey with couples that have been married for more than 40 years. And they asked this question: was there ever a time that you were not in love with your spouse? And every single one of the couples said, yeah, there were times that I really didn't feel the emotion of love. In fact, I felt quite the difference. They said, well, why did you stay together? They said, because love is not an emotion. Love is not how you feel. Love is a commitment, and love is a choice. And I know myself, I have a little trick that works so beautifully in those moments where, I'm not feeling quite as lovey dovey towards my wife. I actually have a picture on my nightstand where it's a picture of when my wife and I got married, and also a picture of our 25th wedding anniversary. And whenever I get a little bit upset, I walk into that nightstand and I look at that picture and remember that this lady actually made a choice to love me and spend her life with me. Now, it's interesting that that's an important thing to recognize. For example, when your parents are going to love you because you're a product of their union. Your siblings, your brothers and sisters will love you because of biology. Your grandchildren and your, people that are associated by family, that is, of course, biological. But you see, when it comes to your spouse, they chose you. And the interesting thing is, they chose you knowing what you were and what you were like. Because when we first, date someone, we're on our best behavior. But as time begins to go on, guess what? They begin to see the real you. They see you when you're tired. They see you when you're emotional. They see you when you're not easy to love, when life is not convenient. And that is a choice. Love is not just being chosen in public, it's being cared for in private. One of my favorite stories about celebrities is this. Jay Leno, who is, of course, known as a comedian, um, excuse me, yeah, and his classic cars. But he's been married to the same lady for a long period of time. And she's right now dealing with a debilitating condition. And is so caring and loving, not only in public, but in private as well. He understands his wife's condition and he's doing everything possible to make her life as comfortable as possible. That is actually the definition of a lady or a gentleman, making those around you as comfortable as possible. And when I read that, I thought, yeah, Jay's got it, even though he's a celebrity and even though he is, famous, he's also understands what love is really all about. It's not just doing this in public. He does it in private. And that's what caring and love is really all about. You see, real love is not what people see. It's what you do behind closed doors. It shows your character, it shows your nature, and it shows your essence. It shows who you are by what you do in private. And I always encourage people to be as transparent in private as you are in public. It's easy to put on a mask. It's easy to look good in public. It's, easy to, say to people, this is the way I am. But behind closed doors, that's where it really matters. And it really matters to the person who has chosen to make you their life partner, the person who put that wedding ring on and said, for better, for worse, for richer, for poor, in sickness and in health, till death do us part. That is what marriage is really all about. And so I encourage you to be as loving and caring in private as you are in public. And remember this, treat your spouse the way that you would want to be treated and walk in forgiveness, because I guarantee that sometime during the day, they're going to do something to tick you off. And that's when you make the choice. I am going to forgive. And I'm not going to hold this against them. Because if you do, those little unforgiveness moments are going to destroy your relationship. And remember, 9 times out of 10, believe it or not, our spouses are not even aware that they've done what they've done. And so it's important to recognize that they chose you. Out of all the people, they chose you. I love to tell people this. I remember the day that my wife walked down the aisle at our wedding. And I looked at her and she was, in this beautiful white dress, her blonde hair cascading down. And I looked and I thought to myself, how in heaven's name did I land such a wonderful lady? And I said to myself, she's been basically my best friend for the last 2.5 years. She chose me. And then I thought, what's wrong with her? But then I realized that she made a choice. And every day she makes a choice. And every day I make a choice. And when you are in a long-term relationship, you make the choice, because love is not just being chosen in public, it's being cared for in private. Real marriage is not what people see. It is how you feel and how you care for other when the door closes. That's my thoughts for you today. My name is Robert Dean Steele. I hope that what I've shared with you will be, helpful. And also as well, please check out my YouTube shorts. Every day I do YouTube shorts, and they're usually less than a minute, and they are designed to be inspirational. They're designed to be educational, but most of all, they're designed to be encouraging. So check those out. And if you like what you're seeing here, continue to press the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I want to thank all the people that do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for doing that. My name is Robert Dean Steele. Remember, it's how you care for people in private that is really important. And it really shows what character and integrity that you have. And remember, it doesn't matter how anyone treats you. Treat people the way that you would want to be treated.